The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Diego Castro, bringing you the biggest headlines from around the world. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel will intensify its fight against Hamas in the coming days. Netanyahu, accompanied by Deputy Chief of Staff Major General Amir Baram, spoke with soldiers and commanders in northern Gaza and pledged to continue the fight until the end. His comments came days after U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said Israel should lower the intensity of its strikes. Since October 7, over 20,000 individuals had been killed in war-torn Gaza, while over 54,000 were injured.
לא מפסיקים. כל מי שמדבר על להפסיק, אין. לא מפסיקים. מלחמה נמשכת עד הסוף.
עד הסוף.
עד שגומרים אותם. לא פחות מזה. ואני יודע שעזבתם משפחות ושהמשפחות תומכות, זה דבר אדיר. וזה הכוח, זה המפתח לניצחון.
An Israeli airstrike outside the Syrian capital Damascus reportedly killed a senior advisor in Iran's Revolutionary Guards. Reuters sources reported the death of Sayed Razi Mousavi, an advisor responsible for coordinating the military alliance between Syria and Iran. Iran's state television interrupted its regular news broadcast to announce that Mousavi had been killed, describing him as one of the Guards' oldest advisors in Syria. It said he had been among those accompanying Qasem Soleimani, the head of Guards elite Quds force, who was killed in a U.S. drone attack in Iraq in 2020. Jailed Russian opposition politician Alexei Navalny has been tracked down to a penal colony north of the Arctic Circle. Navalny's spokeswoman says he is now in the IK3 penal colony, about 1,900 kilometers northeast of Moscow. This comes more than 2 weeks after supporters lost touch with him. Navalny's allies had been preparing for his expected transfer to a special regime colony, the harshest grade in Russia's prison system. A spokesman says it will now be harder for lawyers to meet Navalny in his new home, known as the Polar Wolf Colony, considered to be one of the toughest prisons in Russia. Before his arrest, Navalny campaigned against corruption and organized major anti-Kremlin protests. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now World. I'm Diego Castro. A charter plane grounded in France for a human trafficking probe has initially left for India. The flight carrying 303 Indian passengers originally departed from Dubai and was headed to Nicaragua. Passengers included a 21-month-old baby and 11 unaccompanied minors. It landed at the French airport for a technical stopover when local police intervened. After interrogation, 2 people have been investigated for human trafficking. The plane received permission to leave France with only 276 passengers aboard, as others requested asylum in France. Beijing breaks its record for hours of sub-zero temperatures in December. More than 300 hours of below freezing temperatures have been recorded in the Chinese capital since December 11. This is reportedly the most for the month since records began in 1951. Northern and northeastern parts of China have also experienced a record-breaking chill since last week. Some areas hit minus 40 Celsius and below as biting cold air flowed down from the Arctic. Let's now take a quick look at other world stories we're watching. Russia claims to have gained full control of Marinka, a town in eastern Ukraine which was once home to around 10,000 people. President Vladimir Putin says this would provide them with wider operational area. Thousands of migrants have set off on foot from southern Mexico in an effort to reach the United States border. Authorities estimated the size of the caravan to average around 8,000 people per day. And thousands of Ahir women dressed in orange saris dance in huge concentric circles in India's western Gujarat state. The extraordinary display is said to be a spiritual dance for peace and harmony. And those are the top world headlines of the hour. Join us again at 9:45 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News, all sides, all the time.